Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We're just trying to work out how many
Saturday,
days in we are.
Sunday, Monday, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I think.
20. So today's day 24.
I might be wrong.
We don't know. Weeks.
We're just into the 4th week, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good Parkup.
There's a bit of noise, boy race, but you know, you can get anybody turn up in any spot really. And it was only one, it's not as though there's 5.
We're enjoying the fact that we don't know what today's going to bring, we don't know where we're going, we don't know what we're doing. So that's quite a nice...
Yeah, we're not planning too far ahead, we're literally planning on the day.
Yeah,
in the next, you know,
so
we now decided this morning we're off to Staithes.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not solid. If we have to change it, we change it, you know.
Yeah, like we changed yesterday. We weren't going to go into Scarborough, but I've never been, so I thought we'd just go and have a look.
It was alright. Almost lost the drone, which was a bit stressful.
That was really stressful. I find it really stressful when Stu flies the drone, because on our first flight, it was tracking the van, and then it turned round and headed off home, but we didn't know that, and we thought we'd lost it. Yeah.
Anyway, should we get going?
Yeah, we don't know where we're going, but...
We're all going to Staithes, but sort of side.
We do know where we're going.
I know where we're going.
She knows where he's going. I never know where we're going.
And off we head, chatting about the trip so far and the events in the last episode. If you enjoy our videos but you haven't yet subscribed, please give that button a click, as it really helps support us.
So we're coming up to Whitby, but we're not going to stop here because we've been here in a previous video and we spent quite a few days here, didn't we?
Yeah.
You are ready for a different kind of life. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild.
Oh wow, the sea here.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God,
can't.
stop here.
Yeah, definitely. So we're actually looking for a bin, but we've changed our mind and we're going to stop here somewhere if we can.
Pictures out there. I'm going to get out and have a look, take pictures.
Yeah, it's a paying display.
Jesus, it's not going to happen that fast. There's not going to suddenly jump out the ruddy road. Bloody hell.
I think he's only doing it to please me. Oh gosh, don't say.
1 hour you've got.
A pound.
Eh?
A pound.
20p.
You're joking.
No, that's good, isn't it?
Well, there you go. Aren't you glad now?
I'm going to take some pictures now.
We loved it here so much that we ended up using the whole hour of our parking ticket.
And this beach is called Sandsend Beach. And that really does come up, doesn't it? So Stu's updated his firmware to see if that's we don't want the same problem as we had yesterday.
So to the right of us in the distance is the town of Whitby, and on the left you can see the small village of Sandsend. We caught on camera this dangerous riptide that is flowing out faster than the waves coming in either side.
Good session today. This is what I mean, you don't know how your day is going to turn out. I mean, we were literally looking for a bin and all of a sudden We've just spent maybe an hour here. I'd love to see this beach in a storm. The waves. No, I turned that on and then I just realised that I hadn't pressed. Oh, it's off. You never keep Stu in one place so long.
That was good.
That was really good. That was
Just
really
been right place, right time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some big waves coming in. You say it's a surfing beach. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so it's got another, what did I say? 4 hours.
4 hours to go out.
1 o'clock this afternoon.
Low tides.
Low tide.
We carry on our journey, passing through Sandsend Village, which looks a great place to spend a little more time. And we soon arrive at our target Parkup, which is above Staithes village.
Well, a few vans here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Looks like the location is popular with surfers. A few vans here have popped out with the surfboards and gone down to Staithes.
And as always, the kettle's on for a quick cuppa. And we get Harry organised for the day. And finally we're off to investigate Staithes. And we can soon see where the surfers are heading.
Wow.
It's a place of roofs again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And wow indeed, Staithes has already started to blow us away. As you might expect, Staithes is steeped in fishing history, and it tucks itself neatly alongside the Staithes beck. And the beck is obviously tidal, so will change throughout the day. And you just can't beat the sound of a power tool, can you?
Well, this is one of the most prettiest fishing villages I've seen. Beautiful. River flowing through it. There's a harbour. The tide's out at the moment. Sun's just come out.
Surfers come from various places heading towards the sea. And as we head towards the seafront, we are constantly stopping, as there is a view at every corner.
So the cliffs around here are quite crumbly. Obviously these are man-made and being put down, but you can tell the natural stone that's fallen off behind, some of it actually making its way over into the path and that. In fact, 2 years ago apparently, over the other side, unfortunately a young 6-year-old, I think toddler, died from falling rocks. Tragic.
And as usual, the seagulls seem happy to nest anywhere.
One of the hazards of living where there's a lot of seagulls.
The tide is still going out, so the harbour is gradually emptying itself.
How funny, from a distance I thought I was looking at Stu. It's only as I got closer I realised it's very much not Stu. You can see how I got confused.
So Stu continues his support for the protection of fish by catching nothing. I can't get over how social Stu's become since he's retired and come on this trip. And I've no doubt that he's telling these people about the big fish that got away. And while Stu's fishing, I go off to try and film the surfers. The waves at times are a really impressive height. And then there's a period where calm descends, and they sit and they wait. then this surfer seems to have had enough and he catches the last ride in. And then just as quick as the calm descended, the next rollers start coming in again. But they don't catch every wave. And sometimes the one that you think that they should catch and all ride, they totally ignore. And after watching all that water, I need to go and find a toilet. So I'm just coming to see if I can see Stu, because I said I'd meet him the other side and I've got no signal. So now I really am looking for that red jacket. Thought that might be him for a moment in the distance. Oh, hello. And what do we have here? That's why you should wear a red coat. You do realise there's a flaw in our plan. What? Got no signal. So how could I tell you where I was? Staithes has a lovely mix of independent shops serving the community and the tourists, many of which we visited, and we were quite happy to spend our money there in the few days we stayed.
Ah, an alehouse.
And the cod and lobster became a very welcome stop off at lunchtime.
Crab sandwich, very nice. Cheese and ham panini.
And it had a very nice peaceful view to go with it. We watched surfers come and go, and this group interestingly separate, one pair heading to the left of the harbour and the others to the right. And I've no doubt they'll be comparing notes later on. And of course the seagulls have seen it all before.
I'm just heading back to the van now, and the rain starts to come down as predicted. A storm over Whitby Way down to Scarborough.
So when we walk down here, there's Stu. Wally's off to fish, high tide. When we came up down here this morning, it was low tide, and now we've come up and it's high tide, so it's quite interesting. I took pictures of these and now they're all floating, as you'd expect in high tide. I think we've got about an hour before high tide is at its highest. It's been raining all afternoon and it's just suddenly cleared up, so as soon as it did, Stu was off and running with his fishing rod. I hope he doesn't catch anything. I've got a bloody fish allergy that I carry an EpiPen for, so he'll be on full alert in the van if he catches anything. And now this is the same scene that we saw, and it looks equally as lovely with the water at high tide.
So I met this gentleman briefly with his shopping trolley, which was a really strange sight, and I wasn't quite sure what he was doing. So as you can see, the waves were starting to break close in, and also the sun was coming back out again.
Hoya! Hoya! Got me! Hey!
And then, having spoken to the man further, he explained he was a member of a photography club and all his gear was in the trolley. They were all here for the golden hour of photography, when the light is at its best and they're hoping to catch a great sunset.
Tidal River is now flooded compared to when we came down before. Tide's just on the turn now, so it's just about to go out.
So by the time we got back to the van, the sunset was at its best.
Some dramatic skies, lovely late sun. And that's where we're parked for the night. It's a full car park this morning with all surfers, but it's emptied. There's about, what, 4 vans and about 4 cars for people walking by the looks of it.
And Stu and I had a glass of wine while we watched the sunset. So I can imagine that the photographers were rewarded with some incredible shots. But as we get in the van for the night, Stu discovers that the battery had not and was not charging in the sun as we'd expected it to. So Stu's wondering if there's a fuse blown, so he looks into the battery compartment, only to discover one of the battery leads was loose and barely touching. Now this is the first time he's looked here, as the battery has never actually failed. And finally, at long last, we now know why we were having such strange issues.
Now happy.
And not charging deeply enough to get the state of charge back. You can imagine how happy this has made us. And a lesson learned is look at the basics, because it was staring us in the face the whole time.
So the battery cover, the battery connector had worked itself loose and not clamped on the positive, and it was touching it, but obviously when you're driving along, it's obviously touching, not touching, not touching, not touching, therefore the charge wouldn't have been what it should have been. It hasn't charged at all today, which would explain why it's not charged at all today, because the CTEC's saying I'm pushing stuff through, but it's not charging it because you're not connected. Morning, so it's day 2 in Staithes. We're going to stay another day. Jane loves it so much, she asked if she could stop another day, and of course we can in a campervan. So we're just coming down into the Staithes harbour. It's another nice day. I'm going to see if I can get the drone up over the harbour, which would be really good. It's quite calm, and then we're going to go over a headland walk over the other side of Staithes and that. So that's going to be today's mission.
And we're off to visit the Captain Cook and Staithes Heritage Museum. The museum's upstairs and there's a couple of shops below. The museum itself is quite small, and it's like an Aladdin's cave full of artefacts, art and letters. But this museum is unique as it's all the collection of one man called Reg Firth. Reg was a former mayor of Whitby who sold his home and bought a caravan and this disused Methodist church. And he and his wife Anne spent the next 6 years doing it up, and they opened in 1993. Unfortunately, Reg died in 2018. It was recognised by the community how important and valuable this museum was, and so they set about raising money from donations to secure its future. And a very generous benefactor bought the building. It's free to get in, but as always we leave a donation as we go.
So I asked for rum and raisin black cherry. And I probably didn't make it clear that it was, because we both went up to the stand, I probably didn't make it clear on the more expensive, because I ended up with 2 cones and not one. I meant 2 scoops onto one thing. Oh well.
It's tough life.
It's got to be done. Somebody's got to. We're walking along the top of Staithes now, along what's called the Cleveland Way. I've come across this a couple of times, so it must be a coastal route, I'm guessing. Harry's over there. That's where we're parked. So you have to walk down that steep bank to get into Staithes, but we're parked there. Don't go too close to the edge, Jane, please. We've seen the crumbly rocks. We don't want to be a statistic. It'd be good for the channel though if you did. This is a different bay. Oh wow, look at this.
The rocks exposed here just sit below the surface, and the surfers were telling us the dangers of falling off the board and onto the rock shelf below.
So that rock is called Old Nab. Quite sure I trust those ropes or how long they've been there. Looks like somebody's been doing some work. Ladders down to the bottom. Now they've been looking there for fossils and things like that, geology.
There's lots of people enjoying the views. But it's time for us to head back. And as we do, we see the potash mine in the distance, and that's quite some statement on the landscape. And as we walk back, people are getting on with their lives, as do the animals.
Our motto is seize the moment.
I couldn't not say no to a beautiful crab sandwich, cheese panini and chips.
Same as yesterday.
And a drink, same as yesterday.
Goes wrong with.
And as we sit, we get a bit concerned about this elderly gentleman as he walked down the really slippery boat ramp. But then it was quite sweet as he was getting his mate to wave at the picture he was taking.
So tonight, because we've ate at lunchtime, we're just going to try these new pockets out. Going to heat those up in the Ridge Monkey, and for the filling I'm just going to do my own mix. So I've got some sliced chicken, some herbs in there and chilli, and then I should be cooking some of these and others will go in raw to make a bit of crunch. And then we'll have a sauce. We've got a hoisin plum and hoisin sauce, but I'll thicken it with a bit of marmalade. We just added the hoisin sauce. So I've just added the peppers and the mushroom. Onions went in before with the chicken.
These pockets are really good because they come in packs.
8, well, it's an 8-pack.
8, but it's 2 packs.
2
so
separate packs of 4, and they're sealed packs, which is good. Now this is too runny for this, so I should have not have used all the hoisin sauce.
But they're nice, aren't they, the pockets?
That's got the base of a good meal, that's easy meal.
Mm.
Well, that was a very full few days at one of the prettiest fishing villages that we've ever stayed at. So please think about supporting the channel by giving us a like and subscribing to see other episodes as we share our van life with you.